Hey guys, Chris here, back from C&H Small Engine again for another quick video here. We've got a snowblower here. This is a, I believe it's a 2-year-old Sears snowblower, because the guy I brought over here yesterday afternoon was claiming that's how old it is, because he's bought it at a Sears store that was going out of business in Ohio, and he bought for about $250, and he actually sold, or I should say, it was actually sold half the price is what it was on the actual tag. And what happened was he took it home, he used it as property for about maybe half an hour, 2 hours, because he had some snow during the time he bought it, and he let it sit for about 2 years after that specifically. The machine wouldn't start for him, and he was complaining to us over here. He kept on starting up, dying, not starting up, dying. He was trying to put some ether in the spark plug and anything else like that, and it simply would not go at all for him, and he wanted to have us take a look at it for him. So I said, okay, no problem, we'll bring it over, take a look at it for you. And we did, and unfortunately the carb was completely gummed up in this machine. He has the newer Chinese engines on this one right here, and I don't like telling people that, but it's simply more cost effective to replace the carburetor, guys. You have to replace the carbs on these new ones like this because of the fact that they are cheap and they are Chinese, and I do not like telling people that, but that's the fact, guys. Plus, the other problem is they have a really goofy air box on these machines. You got to take this entire covering assembly off in these newer ones like this right here. Yeah, and plus, the other thing is you have a long shaft that goes up to the top of the carb right here. You have a big plastic shaft on here, and on that plastic shaft are like two clips. You have to have like a special tool to get those 2 clips off for the new carb, what we want to call it. I think they call it a carb choke linkage. That's basically what it is, if I can say specifically, because whenever you look it up online, it just says carb shaft on it, but it's basically a linkage between your knob up here and your carburetor down here as well too. So they have a big plastic rod that goes down to the carb, and you have to have a little special tool, or you have to have a second person to pry the actual shaft apart to get it to put on the new carburetor when you install it on the actual machine here for that. The carb for this one right here, I looked up online, it was about $75 plus shipping and handling and tax from Sears. So the carbs are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, guys. Unfortunately, I would think if you're buying a Chinese engine on here, it'd be a lot cheaper than what it is, but that is not the case. So this machine, it's about a 5 horsepower with a self-propelled unit on here as well too. So we'll go ahead and fire this thing up here for you guys, and I'll give you a demonstration video of it actually running here for you guys. So this is a 22-inch cutting path. This is the we want to call the models, I'd say like a 2nd generation model after they originally came out with the other ones about 5 or 6 years ago. This is like a 2nd generation model, because they did change the actual engine design on this one right here, because we had the other ones from like I think 2008 to 2012, 2015. They have a completely different engine as opposed to the one on here right now, so they did revise the engines on the newer ones as this one is right here specifically. So let me go ahead and fire this thing up here for you guys. Put it on first right there, or I should say, sorry about that, I was not looking at the switches there. Okay, on's all the way over to the left right here, guys, for you, and you want to prime it about, I say prime about 2 or 3 times. Then put it on choke. Choke's all the way up. There's your choke right there. Let me get another second shot right here. There's your choke. You want to push that all the way up here, and you want to prime it about 2 or 3 times. And there's your ignition key right here as well too. And you also have your speed selector down here that I inappropriately marked as on and off right here. So on's all the way over, and off is over to the right. So you have the turtle, which is slow, and you have stop right next to that. So you want to push it all the way over to the left. We'll go ahead and fire it up here for you. And there it is, fired up on one pull. That's how they should normally start if the engine is in great shape and it does not have any kind of mechanical problems or ignition or fuel related issues with it whatsoever. There's the front auger assembly. The smaller ones do have all metal auger assembly on them. They don't have any plastic paddles or gears or anything else like that for that. So they do have all metal parts. And here's the engine tag. Augers work fine. See if I can get a picture for you here. They're spinning over perfectly. And the drive unit works as well too down here. We'll go ahead and get the drive going. Drive works great. I'll shut it off. So there you go, guys. There's a review for the newer generation Sears Craftsman snowblower with the newer revised Chinese engine on this one specifically. Today is Thursday afternoon. I should make a note of this because Sears on Monday they did go bankrupt, and I believe they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So currently Sears is still operating. However, in the future I really do not know what the status of Sears products and the actual parts and stuff like that will be in the future. But as of right now, Sears is still functional and they do still have parts, and they're still making machines such as this one right here for that. So hopefully Sears will still stay around for I'd say at least 5 or 10 years. But the problem is I really can't predict the future out there, guys. And if you have an older Sears machine, and if Sears does eventually go out of business, I don't know how anybody's going to be able to get any parts for the older machines unless somebody buys up the actual assets of Sears Holdings out there specifically for that. So if anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot about this video, just feel free to leave me a message here, and I'll try to get back as soon as possible with some kind of a detailed help or some kind of instructions as well too. I almost forgot to mention, guys, these machines, you have to put 5W30 oil in them. So if you're out there using your machine in like 32 or below temperature out there, you must use 5W30 oil. Sometimes I've seen people like put 10W30 or 30 weight in these things out here, and that's a big no-no, guys. You always want to use 5W30 oil. I prefer Mobil 1 full synthetic extended performance myself because that's what I use, and that's what I recommend everybody else out there for that. So once again, guys, if anybody has any questions, just drop me a message here and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I'll see you guys. Have a nice day.